There are several news about the Star Wars franchise this week. For one part, the extremely popular Disney Plus series The Mandalorian surprises us with a new character for the second season. This character will be in line with the appearance of Ahsoka Tano, who was announced a few weeks ago and will also be included in the series soon. The character in question is Bo-Katan Kryze, who will be played by actress Katee Sackhoff. Bo-Katan Kryze will probably be best known to fans of Star Wars The Clone Wars and Star Wars Rebels. In both animation series, the Mandalorian warrior has turned into a real fan favorite and is now even brought to life by her longtime dubbing voice Katee Sackhoff. Which role Bo-Katan is going to play in the second season of The Mandalorian is unfortunately not yet known, but will surely be announced soon. Fans of The Mandalorian can also look forward to another new addition because, as The Hollywood Reporter reports, bounty hunter Boba Fett will also be part of the second season. Temuera Morrison will take over the role of the aging Boba Fett. By the way, you can watch the second season of The Mandalorian on Disney Plus from October 2020 on, since the start date is fortunately not affected by the pandemic, as Disney CEO Bob Chapek confirmed a few days ago. It is also officially confirmed that Taika Waititi will direct the upcoming Star Wars movie. The successful director was already allowed to try his skills with the finale of The Mandalorian Season 1 and is now supposed to show what he can do with the expected movie. And not only in the director's chair, because Waititi also works together with screenwriter Christy Wilson Cairns on the script of the movie. Information about the upcoming film is still scarce, as currently the only official confirmed start dates are December 16th, 2022, December 20th, 2024, and December 18th, 2026. It is still unclear which of the dates Waititi will get, but we can probably expect news soon, as the Star Wars Celebration announced for the end of August will take place despite possible restrictions. Already some time ago, 20th Century Fox announced that X-Men New Mutants will get a new start date for the cinema due to the pandemic. As you can see now on a new poster of the movie, the new release date is already this summer on August 28th, 2020, which is only the US date. At least now a realistic date has finally been set, because the release date, which was originally planned for 2018, has already been changed and postponed several times. The story revolves around a group of young mutants who meet in a remote hospital. Together they try to find out more about the greedy operators, because it seems they are only interested in the superpowers of the mutants. Whether they succeed or not, you can find out from the end of August in cinemas. Since the release of Deadpool in 2016, everyone is talking about the anti-hero. When the second part was released in 2018 and it could even tie up to the box office success of the first part, the question of the third part was more or less decided. But what followed was the Fox takeover by Disney, and with it the great uncertainty whether Wade Wilson's coarse humor is not in contradiction to Disney's family-friendly image. Until the very end, there was great hope that Disney, due to the immense success, would overcome itself and commission a third part. But this discussion is probably on hold for the time being, since Deadpool creator Rob Liefeld recently in an interview with Inverse did not predict a rosy future for the mercenary in the red and black garb. According to his statements, this is probably the end of the film series, because Marvel boss Kevin Feige is still not interested in a Deadpool sequel. He himself was realistic enough to accept that the franchise is now at an end after two very successful films. He also stressed once again that he simply can't imagine a continuation with Marvel. Many fans are now wondering why leading actor Ryan Reynolds announced last December that Marvel had given the green light for Deadpool 3, which naturally raises the question as to which of the two is really right. Rob Liefeld, as the creator of Deadpool, is of course involved in the development process, but it seems as if Reynolds, as the main actor, is naturally more directly involved in the actual production. The fact that his statement was made much longer ago than that of Rob Liefeld speaks of course against this. What do you think? Is Disney still working on Deadpool 3 in the background, or did Liefeld actually announce the end of the series with his comment? Write your opinion in the comments. In an interview with Empire magazine, Avatar director James Cameron had few nice things to say about the shooting, as the restrictions and delays made the production of the film extremely difficult. On top of that is a break of meanwhile more than 10 years between the first and the second part, and to make things worse, there are also constant postponements of the movies. But further postponement could now be a thing of the past, at least for the time being, because in the recent interview with Empire he's optimistic about the future. He assumes that the shooting will be delayed for a few more months, but then it can be continued as planned. That's to be hoped, because with the gigantic project Avatar, Cameron has a lot of plans for the future. Since 2017, the shooting of the 4 sequels has been in progress, and the amount of work behind the scenes hasn't decreased since the first part. So it's to be hoped that Cameron will soon be able to continue shooting again, so the cinema release on December 17th, 2021 will not be jeopardized even more. For some years now, Disney has been following the sometimes more, sometimes less successful recipe of re-releasing old classics as live-action versions. The latest film of this kind, Mulan, was recently postponed due to the current situation. In the past, there have also been several reports about working on live-action Robin Hood or Hercules. And as some sources now report, the Disney machinery is already working on the next remake. Rumors say that Atlantis, The Lost Empire is supposed to be next. The original film by Gary Truesdale and Kirk Wise was released in 2001, and as one of the few Disney animated films without musical elements, it brought in $186 million worldwide. Atlantis is now one of the Disney classics, and no animation film collection can be imagined without it, partly because of its unique animations based on the style of Hellboy creator Mike Mignola. When we can expect the live-action filming is unfortunately not known yet. The era of Iron Man, aka Tony Stark, has been over since Avengers Endgame. Also, return of Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man in the MCU is rather unlikely, but a possible successor of a somewhat different kind is already in the making. The insider Thomas Polito of the Cinema Spot claims to have found out that Disney Plus is currently actively working on a series about superheroine Riri Williams. That's pretty conclusive because, at least in the comics, she will later follow in the footsteps of Iron Man. According to Polito's information, Marvel is currently looking for a suitable showrunner to start filming next year. Of course, this information should be treated with caution at the moment because although Polito has a very reliable reputation in the scene, there's still no official news from Disney. However, if he's right, a release in late 2022 or early 2023 would be quite realistic. On October 29, 2020, Snake Eyes G.I. Joe Origins is expected to be a new film that'll boost the franchise again. The German director Robert Schwenker will be shooting a story about an elitist killer clan that only takes on the most dangerous of assignments and thus arouses the interest of Snake Eyes. This is a spin-off of the series, which is supposed to bring in some momentum after the last two not really successful films. As The Hollywood Reporter now reports, producer Lorenzo Di Bonaventura has now received the order for another G.I. Joe movie. Allegedly, negotiations with the screenwriters Joe Shrapnel and Anna Waterhouse are still ongoing. The new film is not supposed to be a classic sequel to Snake Eyes, despite its context. Instead, they want to tackle a further expansion of the universe and let the audience dive deeper into the world of G.I. Joe. Snake Eyes G.I. Joe Origins will be released in the US on October 23, 2020, but a release date for the second film is not yet known.